All right, squad, welcome back. This is Prepping with Sarge, and this is my video response to my own video that I did about what five firearms would you pick if you could only pick 5 in a massive civil unrest, factionalized violence type scenario. I want to thank you, everybody who responded either in the comments or if you did a video response. I am filming this like literally minutes after I filmed that first one because I don't want my answers to be tainted by answers that you give. So I may change my mind based on some of the things that you guys suggest. These scenarios are really important for us to kind of game out. Some of them are a little bit more serious than others. Make sure you're checking out some of the other scenarios that I've done. I especially want you to check out the video that I did about a hospital attack, terrorism in a hospital. I think that this is one possible way that something bad's gonna happen, and I'm basing that on the intel that's been released by former CIA targeter Sarah Adams on the Sean Ryan show. So that's my sources that I'm giving you, and make sure you check out the interviews that Sean Ryan did with Sarah Adams, where she explains where she got her intel from. There seems to be some sleeper cells of terrorists that are within the United States that haven't been picked up, as far as we can tell, by ICE. Okay, so they're either well hidden or there's another reason why they haven't been picked up yet. Don't know. We don't always get access to all that information, but there's a real threat here that I'm concerned about, and that's part of the messaging of this year, is I want people to be prepared for this. So back to this scenario here. What are the 5 firearms that I would pick for my scenario of massive civil unrest and factionalized violence? All right, so I'm gonna go with number 1, my 12 gauge pump. Okay, and 12 gauge pump action shotgun. Pump action shotguns, extremely reliable. They've been around for a long time, pretty much foolproof. Pretty much you can put it in somebody else's hands, teach them how to use it in minutes. Very, very accurate at close range. Can be used to hunt turkey, deer. If you have, you want to have a variety of different types of shells. You want to have some buckshot, some bird shot, turkey shot, solid rounds, slugs. They even sell these flamethrower rounds that you can get depending on your state. Check your legalities for your state. So it's just such a multifunctional tool. That would be definitely one. And these are not necessarily in order for me. Number 2, my primary firearm for me, and this would be my number 1 pick if I only could pick one, would be my Glock 17. Why? Yeah, I know people are saying, well, that doesn't have a lot of stopping power and that kind of thing. I know, I understand that. You guys have to remember, I am a civilian who's had some good training, but I've not had combat experience. I'm not a police officer. I've never served in the military. So my training has been based on when I've trained with people who've been in law enforcement or military. So I did learn some basics like slicing the pie and flanking and fatal funnels and leapfrogging, things like that. I get the concepts of that, and I've had some training with that. I've trained with IDPA. I did some competitive airsoft for a while. I did Project Appleseed. I've done a lot of those kind of things. So, but out of all the firearms that I've fired over the course of my lifetime, the one that I have most rounds through was my Glock 17. That was the one that I used when I competed in IDPA. It's the one that I'm most familiar with, probably the most accurate with, at least at short and medium range. And I know how to clear malfunctions by blindfolded with that. So that would be, my Glock 17 would be it. Next, my AR-15. And the AR-15, I know a lot of people, there's going to be people who are like, nobody needs an AR-15 or an AK-47. Says people who have never lived through riots. If you've ever lived through riots and seen it in your city, you would rethink that. Especially when people start getting extremely violent and torching buildings and attacking police officers and civil order breaks down. You would rethink that. I promise you that. They also, as far as the AK-47 goes, that is the best method for culling wild hogs, period. So if you're one of these people that says nobody needs an AK-47 and an AR-15, unfortunately, you just don't know what you're talking about. I respect you. I get that you don't like firearms. It's okay. But your information is factually inaccurate, and I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. If you want, if you don't want those things, that's fine. I'm just telling you that there are purposes for it where it is the best tool for the job. Okay, so for massive violent crowd control, That's what I would want in my hands. And yes, if you're going to carry a weapon like that, I really strongly recommend you get professional training. That should not be, in my personal opinion, somebody's first firearm. That's like, somebody who's never driven and you're giving the keys to a Ferrari. Okay, start them on the a Subaru first, right, or Toyota or whatever. You don't put a brand new driver in a Ferrari. You just don't do that. So get some good solid training on that if you're going to carry that type of weapon. Now, if you don't like an AR-15, maybe you're going to substitute AK-47. You certainly could make a good case for that. More stopping power, more reliable in extreme conditions. I get it. Okay, I'm going to go with my AR-15. Next one would be my Ruger 1022. It's quiet, perfect for small game hunting, very, very easy to train a new shooter on. It's really, again, like the 12 gauge shotgun, it's a multi-purpose firearm that, you could make a good case that if you were only going to have one firearm, the Ruger 1022 might be the way to go. Not good for large game, not good for taking down a two-legged threat, but it definitely can do a lot of good things. And so my last one would be my 308. And the reason I picked that is what you want for taking out, you want like either a 308 or a 30-06 or maybe a 30-30 for taking out large game, right? So I'm talking about deer or large size coyote. You could do that with a 223. Something like that. You're gonna want something with a little bit more reach out and touch and knockdown power. Those would be my 5. And of course, with something like a 308 too, it's also got some power to stop a vehicle if those shots were placed correctly. If there was a vehicle threat that was meaning you imminent harm and you had to protect yourself. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. It has some. If you place those shots in the right spots, it could stop a vehicle. So, what did you put down? If you didn't respond to that first video, you don't necessarily have to go back and watch it again, but you can let me know down in the comments. And if you did a video response and I missed it, go ahead and let me know what in the comments down below. Just say, hey, I did a video, you didn't see it. I do want to check it out, and I want to show it to my audience by posting it in the community posts section of my channel so that people can get eyes on your video response. All right. I want to say thank you so much to this audience. Don't forget to check in the description down below for some brands and discount codes that I work with. To be quite frank with you, the brands that I work with is what's keeping this channel afloat right now. I'm getting very, very little ad revenue because of the type of content that we're talking about. It's almost like YouTube's really turned the faucet off on me. So make sure you check those out. There's some good all the brands that I work with are for products that I really think that you will like, and they're products that I personally endorse because either I've used them or I've tested them myself. All right. And lastly, if you've got a minute, I've got a sponsor here at the end. This is one of the brands that is definitely helping to keep my content afloat. So go ahead and support them. And if you check out any of those brands, let them know that Prepping with Sarge sent you. All right. Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge. Hey squad, thanks so much for watching today's video. Today's video is actually sponsored by AppMex. AppMex is my choice for online gold and silver when I'm looking to add to my stack. I do believe that with all the financial insecurity in the world, financial prepping is part of prepping, and gold and silver, having gold and silver in a physical form is one of the ways that you can not only hedge against inflation, but store some of your wealth even when currencies hit a crisis. And if nothing happens, if we never reach any kind of an SHTF situation, then gold and silver can be passed on to your children and grandchildren. Please check out AppMex on the internet at www.appmex.com. Tell them Prepping with Sarge sent you.